Well, it sure seems like everything's about to get a heck of a lot more expensive. As if things weren't already expensive enough though, right? I mean, gosh. You gotta wonder who's getting all of that extra cash, 'cause, well, it certainly isn't me, and well, I suppose it probably isn't you either. Hey there, it's me, Jordan. I'm so glad you found me. I really am. This is the Slow Tech, a cozy little place where we can sit back and just talk about techie things and slow living things and, well, really complicated things that really ought to be made just a little bit simpler, if you know what I mean. You know, one of those things is this itty bitty word, just a tiny little thing of a word, really. And, well, yeah, it's having a pretty big impact on almost everything, especially the technology you and I like to buy. Yeppers, you guessed it, the bird of the word circling around our noggins is tariffs. Tariffs are about to make a whole lot of things really expensive. But before we break down all the big purchases you should be making right this minute, let's take a step back, you know. Let's take a step back and let's really understand what a tariff is, and why they're having such a gosh darn impact on our tech stuffs. So, a little bit about me. Well, I just love sitting in my backyard with my four-legged life partner, Mr. Jerry. He's a good pup. And, well, like most pups, he loves the squirrels almost as much as I love his little face. Now, don't worry. There's nothing bad happening to the squirrels in this little metaphor I'm gonna weave here. But the thing is, I am gonna have to take a few creative liberties in order to make this little explainer work. So to paint a cozy little picture in my backyard, I've got I got a happy little tree on the one side, and way over on the other side is another happy little tree. Yeah, I love those trees. They're an oak and an elm, respectively. The oak tree produces acorns, as you know, and the elm tree produces elm seeds. Both of which my squirrely little friends absolutely go I go nuts over. Now, these two squirrels each live in one of the trees, and while they are friendly to each other, well, they're also very competitive and also pretty protective of their respective nuts or seeds, as the case may be. Now, the friendly part is that these little buggers actually trade back and forth, sharing their supplies with their neighbor. Now, all told, this is a pretty good situation for everyone involved, especially Jerry, my little pup, when the little guys are darting back and forth between the trees. I mean, gosh, he just loves that. But then again, who doesn't? Now, the competitive part is when the fella in the oak tree decides to start giving fewer acorns to his friend in exchange for the same previously agreed upon amount of elm seeds. Now, you seem like a pretty smart YouTuber, especially if you're watching this video. So, well, I'm sure you can deduce where this is heading. Now, in an effort to keep things fair and balanced, unlike the foxes and coyotes across the water, each squirrel keeps demanding more for their nuts or their seeds, which, gosh, well, is just plain nuts, because the seed of the problem has nothing to do with the actual cost. And there you go. Begun. The trade wars have begun. Everything costs more, and nobody is happy. Well, I mean, except for Jerry, because he's a dog, and that's pretty much just his nature, you know? So that's what a tariff is. And that is what's happening between the United States, China, Mexico, Canada, and other places. Everyone is raising prices because they're nuts, and it's the people without any money who end up paying the most. So, before tech prices skyrocket straight to the moon, what gadgets should we be buying right now? Gosh, you know, I am so glad you asked, because what you're really doing by asking that specific question is putting on display one of humanity's, well, most magnificent traits. Yeah, good for you. And that trait, right, is curiosity. And, I mean, that's a real special thing, you know? A curious mind is, oh, it's a healthy mind, you know? It means you're open to learning new things. It also means you realize there are things you just don't know, and that is a pretty special thing too. Well, certainly in this day and age. So yeah, good for you. Way to be curious. Hey, I'm proud of you. But to answer your question, here's what you should buy before the tariffs hit. Absolutely nothing. At least assuming you don't actually unequivocally need something. And even if you think you do need it, well, maybe try taking a beat. Go out in your own backyard or park or whatever nearby equivalent is handy. And really, you know, just take an hour or so to watch the squirrels. Hey, and if you got a dog, be sure to bring him along too. Yeah. Oh, and here's a pro tip for you. If you wait long enough, well, those tariffs we were talking about, they might just kick in, and well, there you go. Yeah, that right there is even more incentive not to buy something. Yeah, because, well, I mean, if you think about it, you paying more because of tariffs implemented by some fella obsessed with his nuts, well, it kind of feels like this tacit endorsement of that behavior in the first place. And anyone with a dog knows sometimes you just gotta stand firm, you know? You gotta stand firm, bop them on the nose, and tell them no. Yeah. So there you go. Tariffs, trade wars, and all the things you shouldn't be buying anyhow. Yeah, I'm Jordan, you're you, and this has been the Slow Tech. Bye.